Last night I was on the way to the Boarding Barn to do a little benefit for the Bridgehampton High School. They're raising money to go to Disney World, and think about Marty all week. We're all so busy. So this is wonderful that we could stop and just come and join our fellow citizens. I love Sag Harbor, you know that. We're in East Hampton, we've been there almost 30 years, but there's part of my heart that is always Sag Harbor. And, you realize she's sitting over there and I'm sitting here. So on my way to the Boarding Barn last night, I started thinking about, I got to say something for Marty. I wrote a little song, but I figured it'd be a lot easier just to say it so you can understand it. And for the old timers, this is mainly to the old people that remember the way Sag Harbor was. And I'm sorry for the young guys coming up that won't remember some of these names, but Marty had a great expression, which was they did a beautiful job in the paper. I think they pronounced it amatore. Is that what he said? That's love what you do, right?
Right.
And he used to always say that. He'd come up to the Senior Citizen Center, and he was just great having him up there. I'd go in there every once in a while when I could. And he would always have stories, as you all know. You've heard all his stories. And he went to school with my dad, and he remembers my grandfather, who's been gone since 1945. His mind was like a computer. So we wrote this little thing called Amatore. A sweet little man with scissors in his hand and a smile on his face could miss the grin as you walked in, made you feel home in his place. And you knew any time there in that chair, you weren't going to waste, because you were going to see what it means to be from the harbor. He proudly stood there behind his chair for almost 82 years, through bust and boom, days of gloom, lots of laughter, and shed a few tears. And all those stories he's ever heard with just those two big, silly ears became the history of the harbor. He closed his door to go to war, to North Africa and to Rome, joined the Vets of Legion in Montauk Coves as soon as he got home. And since then, we'd never leave again. 66 Maine, he wouldn't roam, and now he's part of our Sag Harbor. When I was a young one, he told me of all the fun he'd have with my grandpa Jake. He was mayor of the town and a vaudeville clown, and all the funny faces he would make. He was a hell of a guy, too young to die, to play and sing for heaven's sakes. He'd sit right there in this chair, because I was his barber. From this throne, I never felt alone. I always had a front row seat, where all the people I know would come and go, and I'd watch the changes on Main Street. And anyone knew who didn't have a clue, sooner or later they'd be sitting in this seat. But they'd see what it means to be from the harbor. Whether old or young, smart or dumb, didn't matter if you were rich or poor. If you wrote a good book, you were a first-rate cook. You were all welcome, that's for sure. But I'd soon detect if you had no respect, and your ass would be out that door. That's not how you act here in my dear Sag Harbor. That's what I preach. I've seen this town constantly change around, especially since Bullitt has been gone. No more Barry's, no more Bowie, no more Agawam. And on a day when the wind the right way, you could still smell the cow shit at Silly's farm. Those were the days in the harbor. I had Nasty Green as a daily scene, Leon, Gil, Wilkie, and Brother Ned. Mrs. Aleppo. In Calico, across the street, Ency, and Hotel Ted. And all those goddamn earlies, now there's just one, and Ed, he's still not dead. I seen Turk streaking and Buddy leaking in the streets of Sag Harbor. I remember Mrs. Harriet on the bicycle. Remember her? Straight out of the Wizard of Oz. The smell of beers from all the years of 14 local bars. And every other day I'd find a way to shave around those scars from just another fight on any given night in the harbor. Chief Harrington took control as he'd patrol up and down Main Street. Left to right he'd peer year after year out in that summer heat. And way back then was a time when there was only one cop on the beat. That was good enough back then for the harbor. I've loved this barber pole with my heart and soul and tried to serve SAG as best I could. And through all the years of strife throughout my life, you'll see that I've lived a life we should. Be the man who extends his hand and always loves and always leaves you feeling good. I'm just simple Marty the barber from the harbor. So now my scissors are gone. This asshole's singing this song at this Marty's party. All the years of hair from under my chair, give them to Nick Mazzio and Ralph Barati. And as I leave today, there's one thing I'd like to say from our own dear Marty. I've had a ball, and I love you all. That's Salvatore from St. Harbor. Anybody else got some stories?